You think they got a chance?
Yes. I do think they have a chance. Here's what we're looking at as a Texas team that last year made it to the college football playoff. Okay, they lost some players at wide receiver. They also did a really good job in the portal of attacking need at wide receiver. So it would seem to me that they understand that with Quinn Ewers coming back at quarterback, they're in a little bit of a window here. I think their defense has to come along a ton, particularly their secondary. I didn't think it was very good last year. I don't know how much better it got in the offseason. They need to be better. But that's a really talented team who was in the college football playoff a year ago. It seems like Sark is really starting to figure things out as a head coach. I think it makes sense there. There's also this part of me where it's like when you play in the Big 12 and you got no shade, but like you got Texas Tech on your schedule and then you got like a 5-7 TCU on your schedule, you have moments where you get to catch your breath. I think in the SEC, those games are a lot harder to come by, and even the bad teams got athletes from down south. Those guys are just different, right? They got like Florida fast dudes who are just not good football players, but they still run fast and hit. So they've got to get that part figured out. And what will be curious for me is if they make it to the end of the year and they are like the third or the fourth best team in the SEC, maybe in the playoff on the outside looking in, it's going to be crazy, but they say they get in the playoff like that. How do people feel about Sark now? Because we're looking at maybe the fourth odds team for a national title this year. Like, they can't just be like the fourth best, third best team in the SEC. I don't think that's going to be good enough. It's going to be about, like, did you win good enough this year for Texas, not are you there at the end of the year?
I mean, I think that they're right there. I think they are the second best team in the SEC right now, right behind Georgia. I think they got a real chance to turn a lot of heads just because, like you said, you've been in a conference where you get some off weeks, even though you're playing.
They look like they were playing with no secondary back there in the spring game.
It's all mixed in the spring game. And
I know, but that's how they looked a little bit last year, too.
I'm a believer. I wasn't always, but I'm a believer in Sark and what he's been able to do. And I think Quinn Ewers, as much as everybody's saying he's like a top 5 pick, I don't think that's true. But he has seen a lot and played a lot of football, right? And when you have a quarterback that's done that, you have no choice but to be successful. And they've surrounded him with more talent. And they've always looked like an SEC-type team in the Big 12. So I think they're going to be really good. I think they start the season off very strong against a Michigan team. That's going to be a really good game.
But I agree with you in a sense of that, can they sustain? That's going to be a big question mark. But Sark, he understands the SEC. He knows what goes into it. So it helps to have a coach lead your program.